Good morning. Welcome to this week's live broadcast in this Parenting Strategy Hour. This week, I am speaking to those of you who either know for sure you are an empath or you've heard the word, you feel like you might be, but you're not sure. You're going to learn so much today about what it means to be an empath in motherhood and how it can completely trip you up and keep you from feeling healthy and enjoying your kids and having fun and feeling relaxed. And a lot of people don't realize that the reason why they are not enjoying motherhood has to do with being an empath and the way that you process other people's feelings for them, the way that you take on things from others. We're going to dive into this today, and you're going to leave with a really clear understanding and a clear action step of what to do to help yourself to stop leaking energy or taking on everyone else's stuff. This could be your kid, it could be your spouse, your partner, any and all of the above. So let's go ahead and go through a couple of things, just starting with what does it mean to be an empath? And when you guys come on, if you already know that this is you, you already know that yes, you have done the Googling and you've read the books or you've worked with someone around this already. You do know that you are an empath. Go ahead and say yes in the comments now so I can see where you guys are at. If you're not sure what it is, that's fine too. Just stay tuned. So, what does it mean to be an empath? We're going to start here. Okay, you guys know. Everyone who's here who's been following me for a while knows that I help moms to find joy in motherhood. And this happens through pretty much one way, understanding how you work, how your energy works, and understanding how your kid or kids work so that you can create a healthy, beautiful, connected relationship without draining your own energy, without sacrificing yourself. The days of self sacrifice and it being selfish to take care of you are in the past. That is no longer the way that motherhood works for people who are successful and hardworking and enjoying their kids. It doesn't come through self sacrifice or disappearing or kind of losing yourself in motherhood. I don't know that it ever did, but I think that collectively as women, we accepted that that was just kind of the way it needed to be, that my job as a mom means I'm going to put everyone else before me, not think of my own needs. And the empath is the worst at this. So let's peel back some layers and help you to figure out if this is actually a problem that you're dealing with. And I'll talk to you about a little bit more about what it means, and you can make an empowered decision about what you want to do about it. Okay, so my name's Honor Janetsky. I'm a therapist and a coach. I've been helping moms and families for the better part of 20 years. And I am totally um, mission driven to help women, to help moms to own their voice, to thrive in their health, in their relationships, and to have incredible connection with their kids. So, in order to have all of those things, you absolutely need to understand how you work and where any gaps are in how you're doing life and relationships. So, how do you know if this is you? How do you know if the reason why you're so tired, or the reason why you get irritated, or the reason why you're struggling in motherhood is because you're an empath or not? So, a telltale sign that you are an empath is that you feel the emotions of others as if they are your own. You experience what other people are experiencing, their problems, their crisis, their sadness, their anxiety, and on, as if it is your own. And the telltale sign is you don't even know that it's happening. You think it's yours. So empaths have an amazing ability to take on the pain of others and believe it is our own. Okay. I'm an empath too. I get it. I did this for a long time without understanding I was doing this. It can start in your family of origin. You may be someone who took on the pain of your parents without even knowing you were doing it. You may be someone who entered into relationships with someone and took on their pain and didn't know you were doing it. Another way that it manifests, other than taking on the emotional pain of others or the burden, is through your body sensations, tension in your body, stress, strain, chronic pain. So, other people's emotional pain, unresolved emotional trauma, can manifest through your body as headaches, as back pain, as fatigue, as chronic fatigue syndrome, any and all of the above. Okay. I'm only naming a few, just to give you a little glimpse so that you can kind of register, does this sound familiar or not? So before motherhood, if you're an empath now, you've been an empath forever. But before motherhood, you might not have even noticed that this was a thing about you. You might have been able to modulate it. You might have been able to kind of fly under the radar to yourself, just being like really good at what you do. You might be in a healing profession. You might be a healthcare professional. You might be a therapist. Met a lot of body workers. A lot of massage therapists are empaths. Moving toward helping people heal is a thing empaths do, often unconsciously, though. And this is where it gets really tricky. So, whereas you might not have known this about yourself before, after you become a mother, after you are caring for people, you may have noticed that you were getting easily swamped in your child's big feelings. So this is where it comes up a lot for people. That's one area after becoming a mom. The other one is you're getting tangled up in your partner's emotions or stress about parenting. You're getting not just annoyed by it, but really overwhelmed by it. Do you know the difference? Tell me if you know what I'm talking about, if this makes sense. Kind of swept away in your partner's feelings. Okay, sorry, my Zoom is getting a little bit sticky, but we're going to roll on. Okay, so there are things that you can do to keep from burning out. Because ultimately, if you're an empath who doesn't understand how to work with your nature, you will absolutely burn out. But there are things that you can do to stop that from happening. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. But first, let's just go through signs that you're an empath. So, I want you guys to participate here. So, everyone who's listening, and if you watch the replay back, I want you to do this too. Every time that you hear, I'm going to go through a list. I'm going to describe signs. This is just off the top of my head from 20 years of clinical experience working with highly sensitive people, with empaths. Here are some of the biggest sort of flags to me that I've seen. If or when you hear one that applies to you, say yes in the comments. Every time. Okay. If you hear one, say yes. If it's not you, just skip it. Okay. Okay. So, first one is you feel tired, but you don't know why. Like you get enough sleep, things are going okay in your life for you, but you feel tired or drained and you don't know why. Okay. Might even feel confused about it. Say yes if that's you. Second one, you feel good before spending time with somebody, like you were calm or you were relaxed or you were happy. And then you spent time with a particular person and afterward you feel drained or irritable. So shift in your mood after being around certain people. Yes, it could be your family. Say yes if that's you. If you're someone who people seem to seek you out and they just tell you their stuff, they tell you about their relationship problems, they tell you about their trauma, they tell you you're a great listener. That's a sign of an empath. Say yes if that's you. If you feel compelled to help people feel better, compelled to heal them, to help them, to soothe them, if you feel really, really deeply upset when someone else is upset, like deeply upset, you have to make it better. That's a sign of an empath. Say yes if that's you. If you find it hard to tolerate what other people are feeling, like when it's sadness or grief or stress, if you feel it's hard to tolerate that, say yes in the comments now. If you're someone who bends over backwards to make sure that the people you care about do not get upset, because it's really hard to tolerate that. If you bend over backwards to make sure other people feel okay, that's a sign of an empath. Sometimes you may have the sense that you are totally saturated with other people's emotions, other people's energy, and you cannot shake it off. Like it's sticking to you, it's heavy in you. You feel like a soaked sponge and you just want to wring yourself out and you can't. Say yes if that's you. If you feel guilty when you say no or set boundaries to protect yourself, your time, your energy, your space, and equally, if you have a hard time making space for yourself, that's a sign of an empath. Say yes if that's you. So say yes in the comments. Okay. I'm not able to see your comments right now. This platform is being a little bit fussy right now. So let's roll on. Um, what else? Guilt. The guilt is huge for empaths. Empaths feel so guilty when they try to, even when they think of making space for themselves. Even when they think of saying no or setting a boundary, many times people get stuck in guilt and not ever learn how to say no, how to set a boundary, how to follow through on it. Oh, I'm afraid I'm being mean. Oh, I'm afraid that other people will get upset. Oh, I'm afraid that they will think I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm afraid that that's selfish and I really don't have the right to do that. Huge signs of empath. Say yes if that's you. Um, if you are afraid to disappoint people is a big commonality among empaths. If you um, if you don't want to do something, especially if someone is expecting you to be there, you will often go anyway, overriding your own needs and desires like they don't matter. And lastly, you will forget to take care of you. If you're someone who doesn't notice your needs, from I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, it's time to lay down and rest, I'm exhausted, to bigger things. I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I'm worried all the time. I can't shut my mind off. I am fixating on problems. Um, that's draining my energy. It's causing me to snap at my kids. If you're just kind of skipping over all that like it's not a problem or like it's not something to really tend to for you, it's like you don't have needs, say yes in the comments now. Okay. Often empaths will unconsciously attract people to them, partners, spouses, friends who are in pain, who are in emotional suffering or pain, who maybe even seek drama to feel that pain because we want to heal them. We want to save them from their pain. And you guys, it's all unconscious. And do you know what I mean when I say unconscious? You're not aware of it. It happens out of your awareness in your body. You will seek people or draw them to you or let them in who want to be healed by you. They want your light. So if you've heard the word energy vampire, this happens a lot for empaths. People will seek you out who want your light and they will draw on it and you will give it without knowing you're doing it, without really giving them permission. It just is an exchange that happens. So unconsciously, you've allowed it, but you didn't want to. You didn't mean to. Someone will pull from you. And you might notice people get stuck in your head, or you have dreams about them, or it can show up as certain fears. And you kind of can't shake it. That's someone leeching on your energy. Okay, I won't go deep into that today, but these are things that happen for empaths. These are things that people come to me with asking for help in how to shift out of that because it feels like you cannot, no matter how much you want to, change the pattern. Why? Because it's locked away in your unconscious, because you're not aware of what you're getting out of it. You're not aware of where it comes from. You're not aware of what alternative is there. Feels often for empaths like there's no alternative. I'm stuck. This is just how I am. There's no way out. There's no possibility. It would kill me to try to do it another way. It would kill someone else. That it feels that dire. Why? Because you feel someone else's intense emotions and pain about this, about losing you, about you putting up a boundary. And I just want to say for the record, like it feels this scary. It feels this life threatening when you are in this level of like emotional intensity. Unconsciously, there's a desire to just keep it the same way because that's better than whatever the alternative is, which is unknown to you, but unknown feels scary. And what your mind is doing to you, what it's telling you, could not be farther from the truth. Okay. So let's just take a little checkpoint here. What happens to someone who avoids upsetting their spouse or their kids, who feels guilty saying no, and who struggles to set clear, healthy boundaries? What happens to them? Say in the comments now. What has happened to you when you have not set effective boundaries, when you don't know how to do that, when you don't know how to say no to what you want to say no to, when you don't know how to say, I don't feel like having people over tonight, or I don't feel like entertaining all the time. This comes up with clients sometimes, clients who are married to extroverts and always wanting to do stuff and go places or have people over or whatever. This just came up last week and this week with two different people who I'm working with right now, wanting to say no. And when you don't feel like you know how to establish that boundary or that no or why you need it, it's impossible to do it. So, what happens when you continue to live this way year after year and now you have teenage kids and it still hasn't changed? You haven't established any space for yourself. What does that do to your energy level? What does that do to your health? You can imagine, right? Say in the comments. Tell me your ideas. Let me see if it's letting me see any comments yet. Okay. Ah, see them now. They popped up. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. Here we go. Okay. So, hi, Leslie. Right. We say focus outward and then miss what we're feeling on the inside, right? So, when you think about what that does to you, when you think about how run down you become, how burned out you become, how um, desperate you start to feel. This is where people start thinking, I just need to kind of burn it all down. I need to burn the marriage down. I need to get out of here. I need to be with someone new, or I need to just be alone. I can't take this. I need to start isolating to survive. That's what the empath does, kind of goes into hiding. But you guys, that's not the answer. That will lead to isolation. It will lead to you being a shadow of yourself. It will lead to losing the people you care about, close relationships or connections with your kids. You cannot isolate and maintain really healthy, strong relationships with your kids. The key is to develop healthy, energetic boundaries for yourself, to learn how to create and carve out that sense of you for you. Okay. You have to learn. I'm going to tell you three things you have to learn. You can write these down if you want to. You have to learn where you end and where someone else begins. That's number one. You got to know what that is. Two, you have to learn what is your feeling and learn to listen to and identify what that is so you can find out what you need. So I could just say you got to learn how to listen to your needs, but nobody knows what that means and how to do it. And this is something I teach in my programs. You've got to learn how to listen to what you feel. What is your inner voice telling you? You got to cut through all the noise and be able to access that to identify what you need so that you can know you have needs and what they are. It sounds basic and easy, but it isn't. It isn't easy. It is simple, but it takes skills to be able to do this. So that's the second one. The third one is you have to learn how to shift your instincts from only taking care of others by taking on what they feel or taking on their pain or preventing them, trying to prevent them from having to feel it, to taking care of you and making sure you're okay. Because once you're okay, you can help someone else, but boundaries, right? So there's an order to these things. So recap. There are three key things to learn. One, where you end and someone else begins. Two, what you're feeling, meaning what you're needing. Okay. And how to meet those needs. And then three, how to shift your instinct from always knee jerk taking care of others, worrying about others, preventing them from feeling pain, to noticing your own experience, shifting those instincts into taking care of your own needs. Is it selfish? No. Is it necessary? Yes. Is it the only way to be a loving mother? Yes. Otherwise, there's resentment, there's irritability, there's yelling and snapping at kids, there's feeling like, um, uh, um, I gave up everything for you, martyrdom. If you aren't taking care of you, then you absolutely will not develop the kind of relationship you want with your kids. Okay. You've got to. This is the most important thing in your world as a mother. And I'm not saying be selfish and ignore everyone else. I'm not saying be selfish and take from everyone and don't give them love. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying remember that you have a self, you are a self, and that you need love, and that you need to give yourself care, kindness, love, through boundaries, through listening to your needs, through shifting those habits and learning about energetic boundaries where you end and where someone else begins, and what is the difference and what happens in that space in between. Empaths are the last people to notice they have a problem. They are the last people to notice that they're depleted, exhausted, um, spiraling, having a health issue building, and it takes them the longest to invest in themselves to fix a problem. Empaths, 9 out of 10 times, will fix a kid's problem before they will realize that they have a problem themselves. I mean, guilty as charged. Me too, you guys. For a long time, this was me, and I am not there anymore. I understand because I have lived it all the way through 10 years of intense study, learning, practice, and growth, and accessing my own experts to really get this piece. And this is the biggest thing that I teach my clients in all my programs now. If you are, if you stay focused on others, on people you care about, until you are run down or burnt out, you will still be trying to make it better for others until you can't get out of bed, until you are really stuck. And I know people who have been there, who didn't take action until they literally could not get out of bed, had to start prescription medication they didn't want to take, could not function at all. And we're still trying to make it better for kids. Still, like, just met a number of women who were, when I say like, what, how bad did it get? Who have said, I mean, I was still, getting the kids up for school, making them breakfast, and then I'd just be in bed all day. And the minute they get home or I'd go pick them up, then, I'd be on again and then would tap out, at bedtime. No life. So no life. So no life at all for yourself. Just doing the bare minimum to make sure and pretend that kids think things are okay. And that is not a life. Empaths do this. Okay. You'll run yourself into the ground if you go on at that pace. And there is some wonky thinking here that a lot of empath moms develop. And it sounds something like, I'll take care of me once I know they're okay. So take a look in the mirror right now and ask yourself, am I living the life that I am meant to live? Or am I just servicing other people? And really be willing to hear the answer. Just be willing to feel what you want and give some space to it. Don't shut it down right away. I mean, a spoiler alert is that your kids are never going to seem okay or done enough for you to focus on your own happiness. This is the pattern. So your mind will say, once they're taken care of, then I can take care of me. But that is the pattern that leads to burnout and rundown. Do you get that? So say yes if you get that, if that makes sense. The pattern tells you, it drives you to take on things from others, take on their pain, their problems, pile them on you, and then just keep going. But it gets heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier if you don't know how to clear that, how to release that, how to come back to you, how to create space for you. I want you to play with this. So now that you've heard this, tell me what's something that you learned here in the comments now. I love, love, love to hear your feedback. I love to hear what you enjoy learning about. I want you guys to bring a friend to this, to share this with a friend. Play with this. I want you to turn this over in your mind. You can listen again. The replay will be here for a couple of weeks. When you notice a shift in your energy or your mood, when you notice any kind of shift, I was feeling good. Hey, why do I feel so grumpy? What happened? What's going on? I want you to get curious and I want you to ask yourself a question. And the question is this mine? Is this mine? And I want you to listen for the answer. If it's a yes, you've got some deeper looking to do if you choose. You could choose not to. If you hear no, if you hear, I think this is weird, but I think this isn't even mine. If you hear a no, then I want you to ask yourself a follow-up question, which is, what do I feel about what's happening right now? What do I feel? I want you guys to look for you in this experience. I want you to realize you have a self, you have an inner voice. I want you to be able to have a conversation with that part of you that has been waiting to be heard from. So you can ask yourself, is this mine? Is this even mine? Listen. If you're not sure, you can say, what do I feel about what's happening right now? And then I want you to, without judgment, just hear what comes in. Just trust what comes in. We're terrible at trusting ourselves historically. Most people have not practiced this. It's not a skill they've developed. But the first thing that comes in is the thing that I want you to hear and trust. That's your intuition. That's your gut instinct, whatever you want to call it, your inner voice. Practice tuning in more to that. Make space to notice you. Okay. I want you to practice that throughout the week. I want you to come back in here and share a post on what you've noticed. I cannot wait to hear. I really want to see what unfolds for you from this. We have a workshop coming up in August that's going to build on this work that we are laying the foundation for right now with learning about whether you're an empath, starting to get a little curious about it, to notice a little bit more about how this works for you. And we're going to build on it in a big live workshop that's a 5-day that's coming up in a couple of weeks. I will let you guys know more about it. If you want the link, you can ask for it here, just so we know we can get it to you when it's ready. But let me know how this goes for you. Share your takeaways. And thank you so much for joining these live streams that come on every week. For a live show, unless I'm on vacation, which is almost every week. And I really am here to help you grow, to help you explore, to help you find out what you need, and let's build on it together. So thanks for being here, you guys. See you next time.